Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group Swan and from KMB2. The group members are Daini Hasha, Amisha Alia, Auni Izzati, Alia Shahira, and Nur Afifah. We would like to present about communicating with employees in the time of COVID-19 pandemic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Daini Hasha binti Husni Baris. My metric number is 1200729. So today, I would like to give a brief explanation about our group topic, which is communicating with employees in the time of COVID-19 pandemic. So as we know, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our government had implemented the movement control order, which is we call MCO, to reduce the number of infected cases in our country. So some sectors cannot operate their company as usual, and the government had introduced the work from home basis for employers and employees to keep run their company or business efficiently. Okay, so back to our main topic, we will focus on communication between employers and employees, and in this case, we will go three parts discussing about the communication with employees in the time of COVID-19 pandemic.
As we know, COVID-19 has plagued our country for almost 2 years. During the COVID-19 pandemic around the world, many people are affected, which same goes with the organization as well. In fact, most of the companies must stop their operation to avoid spreading the virus. Thus, many activities in the organization can be implemented as usual, such as meeting, discussion, and others. In every company, communication is one of the most important things, either you work with internal or external parties. These are how COVID-19 have affected the communication between employers and employees. First, the effectiveness of organizational management is lacking. Working from home will cause the Working from home will cause less communication between employees and employers. This will cause the management of the organization cannot be managed well because employees and employers can only discuss through cyberspace. This will encourage employees to do work very slow without taking seriously about the work done. Next, it decreased employee performance. Pandemic COVID-19 can cause the performance of employees to decline. This is because employees have to adapt to new conditions, that is by working from home. Employees also do not get full monitoring from employers due to the barriers to face-to-face work. Employees are forced to do their own work without help from anyone. Other than that, that's it. It can cause health problems. One of the most fundamental aspects of workplace health and safety is communication. By putting employee communication at the heart of your health and safety effort, your organization can more easily meet its duty of care, maintain vital business operation, and keep employees safe. In fact, effective communication is one of the most significant ways to avoid preventable employee injuries, illnesses, and fatalities. Last but not least, it can cause stress and burnout. Because of the ambiguity and uncertainty caused by COVID-19, the company felt compelled to take action to protect its employees' health and well-being. This is because we can observe that there is diversity on how COVID-19 has affected both sectors across and within industry. Proof that working conditions has deteriorated for most workers, perhaps especially for frontline workers in healthcare. COVID-19 has substantially contributed to an increased likelihood of employees suffering occupational difficulties, chronic stress syndrome, which
How can can employers reach employees' needs during the COVID-19 crisis? There are three ways to reach their needs. The first one is foster positive coping. Foster positive coping will help employees to cope with their stress. Shifting the employee's focus towards the employee's well-being by finding the way to reduce the stress can help in building positivity. This can be done by practice mindfulness and training how to manage their stress to make sure the employees understand about their own mental health, including the consequences leaving it unattended. Offering a mentor program will help the employees to share their worries with comfortable colleagues so they can talk freely. The second one is treat employees like a family by checking their well-being and be their pillar support. This can be done by doing a daily group call that will help in motivating to work during the pandemic. Employees will feel connected and build trust between employers and employees, and they can share how they feel and receive support. A consistent communication is one of the ways that employees can do to show their concern. This will help in reducing employees' fear, uncertainty, and anxious. The third one is show appreciation and helps employees work at home. It is important that employees' voices are being heard, so the employees need to keep a positive vibes by showing some appreciation towards the employees. Employees can feel accomplished and proud with their own work. This can be done by employers giving benefits or rewards with acknowledgement in mind, such as praises or a small thanks for their hard work. It is also important that employers providing some helps to keep productivity in working. Spending money on work from home equipment and home office furniture help the employees to feel comfortable and able to adjust with the change where they need to work at home. This also helps the employees ease from home alone stress because the pandemic greatly affects on source of income.
Effective communication is vital to be practiced by employers and employees. During this COVID-19 pandemic, the objective and goals can change, and in order to achieve those objectives, effective communication must be ensured by employers. One of the effective ways for employers to communicate with their employees is provide the best communication time and medium to the employees. Employers must understand the condition and background of their employees. Implementing the best medium in communication is the key to keep the employees productive during COVID-19 pandemic. Employers need to know the suitable time to use formal mode communication, informal mode, and unofficial communication medium. For instance, formal communication includes the discussion of goals, policies, and any decision of the organization, while the informal mode communication is delivering the message in more relaxed way. Second, the action of the employers match the words of the employers. During this COVID-19 pandemic, employees will be troubled if employers give instructions that are contrary to the performance of work in the organization. The employers must give their employees disclosure about the procedure to perform the task. Employees will do their best if the employers diligent in doing the tasks in the organization. Third, ensure the relevant types and ways of conversation. We are now living in the new norm where most organizations carry out their tasks online. Communicate clearly and focus on the benefits and needs of the employees. Employees also need convey the guidelines and ideas confidently, explain everything clearly about its pros and cons. Keep the conversation healthy with positive words that include progress, advance, improve, perspective, and endorsement. And last but not least, measure the effectiveness of current mode communication. The effective communication can be measured from communication objective. Set a baseline for a better understanding because the more knowledge about what needs to be measured, the organization can determine the effectiveness of the current efforts effectively. Once the organization knows what goals to achieve, it will be clear for employers to set up an effective communication to achieve its goals.
The symptoms of COVID-19 had a profound impact on all human beings on this earth. COVID-19 is a very dangerous pandemic and can harm those who infected with this pandemic. It can also be fatal to those who infected. Therefore, the government has made an initiative where every citizen has to be confined at home to prevent this epidemic from spreading. This is a good step in dealing with this COVID-19, but it is also has disadvantages for certain parties. For example, people only need to work from home and do not have to face each other in the office. This does basically looks good, but it also has a disadvantages, which is communication between employer and employee can be affected. Communication between employer and employee in the time of pandemic are very important to every company so that the employer can know the situation each of their employees, whether they get enough necessities, whether their family are healthy and not affected by the pandemic, and so on. Without us realizing it, COVID-19 has a huge impact on communication between employers and employees. Therefore, as a responsible employer, this is an issue that needs to be taken seriously by employers. Employers should not ignore this issue because it might affect the effectiveness of employees in working. So, to prevent this from happening, we have highlighted and explained some important things regarding the communication between employer and employees in the time of COVID-19 pandemic. We have explained on how COVID-19 pandemic affects the communication between employers and employees. How can employers reach the employees' needs during COVID-19 crisis and the effective ways for employers to communicate with their employees. Communication between employees and employers are very important and needs to be well taken care of. Various efforts can be made by employers in order to improve the quality of communication between employees and employers. If the employers implement this in their way of work, they will probably be able to meet the welfare of their employees and are able to help their employees who might be affected during this COVID-19 crisis. When the welfare of the employee has been met, the employee will be able to do one's job well, and as the result, it will help in the development of the company. So, communication between employees and employers must be taken into consideration by every employer in order to improve their relationship as well as the development of their company.
That's all from us. Thank you for listening.